doing a video today. I'll be writing here in a little bit, but I really wanted to get this video done because it's long overdue. I wanted to do this video to say thank you. Because of my readers, your support, anyone who pre-ordered My Savior or purchased it during release week, your support actually put My Savior on the USA Today bestseller list, and I was absolutely blown away. I was so excited. So in honor of that, I wore my teamwork t-shirt because everybody worked together, and that means if you shared a post, if you liked a post, if you shared a cover, the fact that you put up with seeing My Savior's cover on your newsfeed for 3 weeks, it's all part of teamwork. And so I will be doing a second video right after this one, so you get to see this t-shirt again. And then I'm going to be touching on why those lists mean so much to indie writers. So if you're interested, please click, and as always, like, subscribe, share. It does help. So that being said, I have received great feedback from My Savior. I love reading the reviews, and a lot of times if I read a review and I like it or it makes me laugh, I will comment on it. So go back every once in a while and check your reviews. I actually do. I read them and comment on them. So everybody has their coffee now? Okay. So I do have mine. As you know, I do my Frappuccinos. Aww. I absolutely love it. Sorry I'm drinking and trying to talk to you, but what you guys don't see behind the scenes is this is like my 5th or 6th take, and so my mouth is really dry. Okay, so on to updates. I will be launching a new store. Right now I work through Cafe Press, and they offer amazing stuff, but it's so expensive. Like they want like $25 for a t-shirt or something crazy like that. So I have been slowly working with wholesalers and trying to build a tiny little inventory of stuff that I think that you guys would be interested in. So the store, fingers crossed, will be launching sometime before the end of the year. This has been my huge 2015 project, but it's because everyone kept asking, and so I will be offering print signed copies of the books. I'll be offering bookmarks. I'll be offering welcome packages, and I'll be offering book plates. For those of you who don't know what a book plate is, I wish I had one I would show you, but they are like a square sticker like this, and they are very high quality paper. It's adhesive back, and I sign them, and I arranged for those for anybody who's international. If you don't want to pay the absolutely outlandish shipping costs to receive books, like signed copies, you can order a book plate. I think they're going to be $5, but you can have it, and I'll sign it, and I can ship it out to you, and you can put it on the inside of your book. This is also available to anybody who's already purchased a book and would like it signed. You can, if I'm not going to be in a convention near you anytime soon, you can order a book plate as well and put it on your book. So the welcome packages will be, it's because, guys, I'm lazy and I don't want to ship 1,000 little buttons or any small items. So I've put them all together. They're available in a package only. The only thing that is in the package that I will be selling separately are the bookmarks. But the welcome package will consist of a button, a pen, a lanyard, a drawstring tote, and bookmark, lanyard, pen, button, drawstring tote. There we go. It's 5 items. I think I'm going to be offering it for $9 or $9.99 or something like that. But it'll have everything together. I'll be, of course, having all that information on the website. But like I said, it's because I don't want to ship just a button. The shipping cost would probably cost more than the button. So I'm offering it all together. That will be launching soon. Let's see. I think I already touched on this, but the Marin Pinterest board has launched. So if you were looking forward to that, it is alive. It is up there. And as I previously said, those are all t-shirts. Those are all the t-shirts that I have. They're all folded up really nicely, and I'm running out of, drawer space. but I can't stop myself. They're fun. As far as the writing scene, of course, I'm working on my brother. I'm looking over here because that's where my little list is. Working on My Brother's Keeper that has a fixed release date of November 17th. Tentatively, I want to say December will be Inception, which is the Vanguard novella. But that really depends on how much time I have to write between now and then. I have, my PA and or best friend is coming in from out of town this month. I've got birthdays. I've got 3 birthdays coming up in the family, Thanksgiving and Christmas in the next couple of months. So it's going to be very busy. So, but I know for a fact My Brother's Keeper will be out in November. I will try very hard to get Inception out in December, which means I can actually get Radic out on time in January. If I don't get Inception out in December, everything gets pushed back a month. So I know in the previous video, I was trying to get a book out every month. I just can't do it. I tried. I'm so type A, which is weird because everyone assumes that if you're creative, you're just kind of like, you go with the flow, and I'm not like that. If it were me, I would sit down at my desk at this time and I would write for X amount of hours before I took a 15-minute break, and then I would write for another X amount of hours, and I would have a certain word count every day, and I would be putting out a book every 3-4 weeks. It doesn't work like that. My muse is like a little demonic mini Marin, and she's got the worst sense of humor. So I will get random great ideas when I'm in the bathroom or driving or something like that. I don't know how many car accidents I've almost been in because I'm trying to get my voice recorder on my phone working. And then when I have the time and I sit down, it's the blinking cursor syndrome. So I can't dictate when I can write. I have all this, I have time to do it. Sometimes it's just not there. So I will keep everybody updated as much as possible as schedules change and move around, but at least I have an order that I'm going to be going through. So I have the next 6 or 7 books completely outlined. So this is like no bullshit. I actually do have the books planned. I just have to get them out of here and onto the computer. So that being said, my next update is I will be putting out 2 new short stories before Book 5 comes out, because you kind of need them for Book 5. So you will be getting the ever-promised Point 5, which is the prologue. This is going to be an insight to Adelaide and Byron's relationship. This is when the spell is cast. So that's prologue. And then I have a brand new one coming up, which is, the idea for it came to me, which is 4.5. So 4.5, you actually get to meet Bronwyn, which is Marius's mate, and you get kind of a little short story from Marius's perspective for the most part. And it's a little, it's a cute little scene. I want to get those out and done, and then we can move on to My Brother's Keeper. So I will be reading comments for this video. So if you have any comments of what you want to see in the book, what you're hoping to see, what moments shocked you in My Savior, I would love to read your comments, so please add them down below. And as always, in the little description bar, I can't talk today, but I'm not recording this because this is like the 6th attempt, so you'll just have to put up with me rambling and tripping over words. But in the description bar down below, I will be putting any relevant links that you would need for anything mentioned in the video. So, but please leave comments. Okay, so I'm going to be launching right into the question and answer portion. I do have a link on my website where you can ask me questions and I will answer them just like this in a video or on a podcast, depending on the content. So we're about the 9-10 minute mark, so we're actually doing pretty good. And I'm just going to kind of just launch right into it. So, first question is, how are you going to be addressing your peeps who are not on Facebook? So, what I have done since the last video is I have found a company and I'm working with them, and I will be offering text alerts to anybody who signs up. It is a free service. If you have unlimited text messages, it won't charge. You're not going to be charged anything. This, unfortunately, is for U.S. residents only. So if you want to receive those, it's text Alanea, and then you text the number. I have it right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Reverse that. It's Alanea text at 24587. If you send that text message, you will automatically be signed up for alerts. And if you are an international reader, or you're not in domestic U.S., you can go to my website, and there's a newsletter that I created just for you. It is called Friends from Afar. And what I'll do is I'll be using that distro list, and I will be using the exact same content that will go out in the text alert. I will be sending out an email to that distro. But please make sure that you've added me to your contacts list, so that way the email doesn't get tracked by your spam or junk folders. So I have that. I do have the normal newsletter, which I'll be putting out sometime this weekend, hopefully. The Alanea Chronicles. I have Pinterest. I have Twitter sometimes. I do reply on Twitter. I do. I haven't figured out Tumblr yet, but I really want to. So if you're a Tumblr guru, send me an email. I would love to figure that out. Every time I see something on Facebook that really actually makes me laugh out loud, it's because of a Tumblr dialogue, and I absolutely love it. So I really want to figure it out. So back to questions. Where did you get the idea for Marin, and is her behavior based on your own wicked sense of humor? Yes, Marin is my inner demon. Just like I call her, like my muse is like a demon version of Marin. She is my running inner dialogue that I just don't say because I'm lazy and I like a drama-free life, so I do manage to keep some of that stuff filtered. But yeah, Marin, if I see something and in the book, if Marin says it, it's because I'm thinking it in real life. So she does get her sense of humor from me, a little bit of quirkiness from me. Her fandoms are definitely from me. But I think, honestly, a little bit of all the characters are a bit of me. It just depends on what aspect you're looking at. Where did you get the idea to make My Commander? I think I mentioned this in the intro video. Is last year I was laid off, so I had to sit down and go, I need to write a book. And so what I did was I created a list of everything that I loved about a paranormal romance. And so the analogy that I love is if you had a very good meal every day, all week, and at the end of the week, you're like, well, I want that taste of everything again. And so you make one of those really awesome crock pot soups, and you just kind of like clean out your fridge, which I love doing that, by the way. But that's basically what I did. Was I took every element of paranormal romance that I absolutely loved, and I put it in My Commander. So I love the little heroine, big alpha dynamic. I love bear shifters. I love Aiden, or that aspect of the alpha when he's a little bit clueless. I love a heroine that can stand on her own 2 feet and doesn't take any shit, who doesn't need rescuing, who actually kind of helps out and helps rescue the alpha for a change. So I like the funny. I love reading hilarious, dialogue. So everything I loved, I wrote that book, and that was My Commander. So My Commander is a little special to me because it is, you ever hear that, that advice, write the book you want to read? That was My Commander. That was the book I wanted to read. That was everything I loved about a paranormal romance. So that is where My Commander came from. Next question is, this is like a weird question, and I don't know exactly how this person meant it, so I'm going to answer it both ways. Will we read about the babies being born or brought into the lives of their mates? So I don't know whether that means, are they going to be born and you get to see them with like their mommy and daddy, or if you get to see them born and then grow up and get mates of their own. The answer is yes to the first one. You're going to see them born. You're going to see them with their moms and dads. You're going to see Aiden going nuts with his kid, you know, Colton laughing with his. The second part, I don't know if I would ever do that. And that's because as a reader, it weirds me out to read the main character of the kid having sex, because he's now the main character. It weirds me out. So if I do ever go back and write the kids' stories, I can guarantee you it'll be years and years and years down the road. Once my little arc for this series is done, we can put it on the shelf, and we've all moved on to all the new series that I'm going to write, and we're going to love those. We can go back and go, hey, whatever happened to so-and-so, Marin 2.0? What is she doing now? That point, if enough time has lapsed that in my head she has grown up, then I will write that story. So it's like a two-part answer. Yes, you will see them as bibbies in being bibbies, just like you got to see in Arcadia. You got to see those babies. They're fun. They add dynamic. You will see them in the series, but I don't know if I would ever go back and write them as main characters. But I'm not going to say no. It might happen, but I'm just not saying anytime soon. Okay, so the next chunk of questions are all so similar that I'm going to read them all, but the answers are all going to be kind of mushed together. Okay, so will Ryu find a mate too? Then another question is, will we see stories of those who are not in a company/unit like Ryu, Elders, or Aiden's two older brothers? So I'm going to answer those two together. Ryu has a mate. I don't know who it is. I will probably be writing his story. It'll be a standalone. And I can tell you right now, if I do write his story, it will be one of the last books in the series. So kind of like think Arshnan for Kenyon. Like that should have been the last book of the series. So you'll get Ryu's story. It will just be the last book. It'll be all-encompassing. It'll be his backstory, him in Japan, that original family, what happened there, him coming to America, meeting Marin, all from his perspective, and then moving on from there. So you will get his big story, but like I said, it's going to be one of the last ones. And then as far as anybody else who's not in a unit, I can almost say definitely yes and soon, which means in the next year. Because remember, writing books takes a long time. So the ones that are talking to me right now are, and any of my MM readers will be overjoyed because the ones that are talking to me are Noah. He will get a standalone. I don't know who his mate is yet, but he's coming to the forefront. I'm going to be doing a standalone novel for Sydney and Justice. I want to do their little backstory, and I'm going to be using their standalone to introduce life in the city to everybody. So you get to meet more shop owners and how daily life is, opening the store, meeting everybody, stuff like that. So yeah, and then the other person, which is not MM, is Jackson. I don't know how to explain it. When I started to write Jackson, on paper, he was just him and Noah, like two little sidekicks, you know. And then I wrote in My Protector, that scene where he just kicked ass out of nowhere. That was not planned. I started typing and was watching the words appear and was like, holy shit, he needs a story. So Jackson will be getting his story. I just don't know when. He's just too amazing. Like, he's got some depth to him already. So those are the ones that I've been kicking around in my head that are outside of the unit. Okay, so those two I can move, because I'll get confused if I don't delete them. So Ryu and doop. The Elders, not so much. Most of them are already mated. And then just to answer the question real quick about the brothers, they're not talking to me right now. Not saying that they won't, they're just not talking to me right now. So the next three questions, like I said, they kind of go together. Once Alpha Company is finished finding their mates, will the story continue through the hierarchy chain of command through company order, or will it be random throughout the companies? I don't know how to answer without giving too much away. it won't be going in order via like what unit. So we're not going to go like alpha, beta, delta, whatever. But because I'm so type A, I need some semblance of order. It will go unit leader, second in command, whatever, whatever, whatever. So that will stay the same. It's not, I'm going to be bouncing all over the place as far as units. So you have no idea what's coming up. Haha. So, and then the next two questions. Do you plan to write more Bewitched and Bewildered series for the other units besides Alpha? Yes. And then how many books would you be willing to write in the series? This one I'm going to answer as a reader. So, as a reader, I have series that I absolutely love. And I will get the latest book and start reading it and realize that this series probably should have ended 3 books ago. That they're just hanging on by a thread and there's not enough content or storyline or plot to keep it going. I would love to have enough story and overarch and content to write all 120 unit members. I just don't think that's going to happen. As long as the overarch supports the series, I will write it. As you know, and I will continue to introduce new characters. And you know, like for example, Vanguard is a spinoff already. But as long as I have the content, I can tell you right now, I actually have physically outlined the next 10 after book 5. So we have at least another 10 to go. But those are the only ones that I can tell you for a fact probably will happen. Anything after that, I have to see where I'm at the end of that outlined arc. If I have it, or knowing me, my brain might take a left turn book 7 and we might end up down the Yellow Book road. I don't know. But like I said, from what I actually have outlined on paper as of right now, we have another 10 books. So that wraps up the questions. Thank you for watching. I know my videos tend to be a little bit on the long side. It's because I can't shut up. So thank you if you've made it to this part of the video. Don't forget to please subscribe and like and share on Facebook. Infect as many people as you can with my craziness. And as always, if you keep reading, I will keep writing. Thanks for watching.